Okay, I'm back at the Bud. Scott built a new bracket for the rotary air conditioner compressor. We can't use the old bracket because it was a piston type and had a different shape, whatever. So he made this one to fit the new rotary compressor. And I'm going to install this and then put the compressor on, put the lights on, or lights. That was not a bright idea, or at least thought. I'm going to put the lines on, and then I'll show you. I'm going to put a vacuum on it, and I'm going to suck the atmosphere out of the system. The reason for that is we don't want oxygen, nitrogen. We don't want anything else in there except no air, no atmosphere. The other thing is that at below 29 suction, the water that's humidity that has infiltrated this open system will evaporate and be sucked out into the outside. So I'll leave that on for an hour and a half or so to make sure that the system is dry on the inside. Water is really bad in an air conditioning system inside the system, because what happens then is that it starts freezing the orifices that allow the cooling to actually take place in the condenser, well, the evaporator. And that's not a good thing. I'm going to put it here. This is the auxiliary drive that will drive the new compressor. We're going to have to find a belt that's going to fit. So after I get it established, I'll put it on the closest of the adjustment toward the driving wheel, so that then I can figure out how much of a belt width that I need to make this work. All right, let's stick this on. This is the bracket he made right here. And the way it goes is like this. Nope. It goes like this. All right, thanks for correcting me. He's got a hole there, and one hole should match the other hole. Get this one established. Another one. Oh, he drilled those things well. Yeah, that should be plenty. Okay, so I got it checked by the authority, and it should be plenty. Yeah?
Yeah, well, that's pretty tight.
Yeah, I tightened it up a little bit, and I might see, of course there's two belts that pull on it, so this is not really any tighter than two belts.
Yeah.
Pulling down on that bearing, but we'll see. As long as it doesn't slip, we'll be able to get through this spring, and then if we need to, we'll do the adjustments later.
Alrighty, we have the 600 Big Bud, which is back in the shop, and you're probably wondering, why is it back in the shop? Well, it's a very good reason. It's got a couple oil leaks that we're gonna try to address and get that fixed. I feel like I just did this like 2 years ago. Basically, the front main seal is leaking oil, and I thought I changed it like 2 years ago, but it's leaking again. I got a new seal and a new speedy sleeve, which is right here as well. And then of course the accessory drive right here, I was trying to fix something and I cracked the housing. I welded it up and put it back on, and I don't know if it's my welds that are leaking or if it's a seal that's bad, and I'm pretty sure it's a seal, but I'll pull it apart. And hopefully I will fix that issue of leaking oil in the front of the engine. Now this engine is just notorious for leaking all over. So if we can slow down the leaks, that's all I care about. It changes its own oil eventually. Let's get back at it and fix this.
All right. Well, I just stepped on Canadian soil, 1 inch over the line. No, I'm right on the border of Coots and Sweetgrass, and just took, I guess just say ownership. But the driver in the truck behind me has got the second toolbar that we've kind of been hinting at and talking about that we found, and he's crossing right now. So all the customs cleared him, he's good to go. And I'm his escort, his pilot car. So I'll be driving behind him as we go down the interstate, and then we'll get two as we get on the county roads. So anyways, we'll get this thing back in about 40 minutes, and then we got to unload it. It was loaded on by cranes onto his trailer. We don't have cranes, so we're gonna do it a little differently. It weighs like 35,000 pounds. We got ideas, I think we'll get it off pretty easy. So anyways, here we go. That was interesting, but it is off and everyone's okay. All the equipment's okay and nothing's bent that we know of. We tried to pull it back off his trailer and it was just, the casting wheel just kept turning and it just caused problems. The boards were falling off and we finally, we almost asked him from the beginning on, but we didn't want to do it, but can we just drag your trailer out from underneath it, like lock all the wheels up so it's suspended above the trailer, hook onto the back of your trailer, your low boy, and just take her on out. And I guess it's a 2-deck. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. I was like, oh, we should have asked you at the beginning because that's what we thought about doing, but we didn't feel like you'd want to have us drag your trailer. But it worked out great. So we got her all down. 100% of the wheels are on the ground now. Magnum's ready to do some pulling. And overall, this thing looks like it's in pretty good shape. This is the first time we've set eyes on it since we bought it. I mean, we bought it sight unseen on the internet. So there just isn't many of these out there. Of this exact, oh hey, I gotta help these guys. I don't know where the center of gravity is. It's right there. But overall, I mean, the tires are, that was bad. But I mean, the rest of them aren't in bad shape. We're gonna change out all these openers. These are all 1-inch openers. We're gonna put our 3-inch on there. Boots look okay. Shanks look pretty good. I mean, it's an 11-year-old drill, 11 years old, so it's got some faded paint on it. Someone, we did that to ours too, swapped out a rim off some other implement that they had, or their tire probably went and they just stole it. So we'll put some gray paint on that. It's got a double chute system on it like we don't need, but I don't know if we'll get to taking it all off. We'll probably keep it on this one at least. I'd like to keep a double chute on at least one of our toolbars just in case we end up finding a way to use it. All right. I am cold. Let's put stuff away and go back inside because it is still winter for some reason. It was 74 degrees out Fahrenheit like 5 days ago. Now it's like 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's fire up the Magnum, hook the hydraulics up. Let's get in the shop. Well, we went down the entire thing, pulled off all the 1-inch openers. These are actually in decent shape. They're not 100% wore out, probably about 70%. So we'll send those off with one of our other toolbars, whoever buys one of those. So they'll get some 1-inch openers. And Dad's going through putting the 3-inch openers that we had, that we took off the old toolbar, putting those on. And I think I'm gonna start going through and ripping this double chute system off. I don't think we'll use it. There's a lot of hoses there. Make it lighter, a little easier to walk around. So we'll start ripping.
Today, I'm gonna work on the 600 bud, try to stop some of these leaks because it is notorious for leaking. Let's pull that harmonic balancer off and see what damage we can locate, because I feel like I just changed that seal out. Oh gosh, I feel like it's like been 2 years. It shouldn't go bad that fast unless they just don't make the speedy sleeve very good, or something got in there and cut the main seal, or I installed it incorrectly. I don't know, but we'll find out. Okay, let's pull the harmonic balancer off. After pulling the harmonic balancer off, looking at it, I did not really see a bunch of oil smeared around the harmonic balancer. So if the front main seal was leaking, this whole thing would just be coated with oil. And it doesn't look like it's coated with oil. And then looking at the seal, after calling my dad over here too, so he can look at it and say I'm not crazy, it looks like oil's leaking out of the front cover. So that sucks, because in order to fix it, you got to pull, it's a 2-piece they call it. So you have the main cover, you pull that off, and you've got a series of gears all around the whole entire of the front of the engine. And that's all your timing. So your injection pump to your, actually on this engine, doesn't matter on the injection pump, but your camshaft and your crankshaft, all those gears are in a certain timing. So to fix that leak, you pull the front cover, pull all those gears off, take the other cover off, and then put a new gasket, put the cover on, time every one of the gears, and it's a special way to do it. And if you get it wrong, you'll crater the motor, and then you put the other cover on. Now, I found a couple of the bolts on the front cover a little loose, so I tightened them up a little bit. Hopefully it pinches it a little tighter and stops that leak or slows it down. But at this point, it might just be a very leaky engine for, well, until this engine craters. Because that is going to be a world of hurt to change. And I don't really feel like doing it. And we don't feel like paying somebody to do it. So, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Snow day.